But you're a man, and as a man, you're naturally hierarchical, which means you're a bigot. What a lovely way to start a post. Isn't she charming? Next you'll say, you don't know me, but I do. I know you by the things you say. And all I'm hearing is you pointing out how ridiculous women are, which is partially true. But men aren't exempt from your observations. In fact, men are much worse in the same ways. Women are far superior to men, because at least they can get along, but men never can. Men, by natural selection, meaning being selected by the females, are inherently competitive with each other and defer to the female. You do realize that women can be competitive and nasty too, right? Also, when did he call women ridiculous? I certainly hope that you are not equating women with feminists, because that's not going to work anymore. You keep making the same video over and over again. It's a sign that you're insane. And here we have the pot calling the kettle black. And you comment on every single one of his videos. That is a sign that you're pathetic. You're an idiot. That's about the limit of your brain. While he shouldn't have insulted you like that, if you can't handle insults, don't give them out in the first place. Strictly in terms of natural selection, the male's larger average lean muscle mass would infer that if a male were to select a female, the only physical force that can negate this would be another male. Whether said male was in the thrall of a female is a whole different discussion. Once again, I remind you I'm using strict Darwinian thought here regarding the beast known in the Latin as Homo sapiens, or man if you prefer that term. I don't know what it is you're trying to say, as it sounds like some form of logic, and logic is a tool used by those who do not know truth. Women simply choose men who will provide for them. They're not going to choose someone who is a critical thinker. They might choose that type of male, but that male would have to provide for them and remain faithful to them. What I'm talking about is metaphysical. Souls don't die, but are recycled back to Earth unless you can prove who you are via esoteric evolution. Sure, women are devious, but that doesn't excuse a male's behavior, and your behavior as a group is obviously flawed. Flawed by natural selection, women simply don't want to marry Jesus Christ. In the face of the Lord, all become who they truly are, bigots. So play around with words all you like, but the facts are the facts. Women have been able to change the face of society by supporting men who are corrupt. Isn't it self-evident by the world you're looking at? If you can't see it, it's because you've been blinded by your own pride. You should start reading books and try to figure out exactly how to get out of this mess you're in. Seriously, what on earth are you talking about? Males are larger in a lot of species. It doesn't change the fact that the female nearly always selects. Females controlling sex selection is the more effective way of handling sex selection for a variety of reasons, not the least of which being the female is the bottleneck on reproduction. Nature is almost always going to find some way to engineer animal behavior to where it ends up with females controlling sex selection. Modern humans can supersede this with things like culture to an extent, but that was not likely the case for our pre-civilized ancestors, and it certainly wasn't the case for our pre-human ancestors. The problem is that the OP, original poster, used the word natural selection when talking about sex selection. These two things are completely different. Not to mention the absurdity of this statement from the OP. Women are far superior to men because at least they can get along, but men never can. So evolution crafted a species of tribal pack hunters incapable of ever getting along? I guess I shouldn't expect much from someone who wants to lecture about evolutionary psychology, but doesn't even understand the distinction between natural and sex selection. I'm not the least bit surprised either. Women are far superior to men because at least they can get along. Tell that to Samantha Brick, who opened an all-female TV company thinking exactly that, and went bankrupt in less than 2 years because of the constant catfighting within her staff. And as a man, you're naturally hierarchical, which means you're a bigot. Except that hierarchies are part of any social groups regardless of sex, as seen in every fucking where. Seriously, shit for brains, have you never been to a school ever? But way to show your own hatred towards an entire sex by claiming something you believe to be strictly masculine by nature as being bigoted. Go fuck yourself. I know no one else ever will. No, I'm totally kidding, but seriously, she needs a reality check. No kidding, do I have to include every word in the English dictionary to get my point across? Read Steve Moxon's The Woman Racket. The problem with men is, you'll always try to be right. That's you, another swinging dick. When are you going to start thinking bigger? Never. My word, she's making even less sense than usual. And you still don't get it. As a gender, you are horrible. Well, that's one way to be direct. Don't bother responding to her. She's hopeless. And I say that because you can't reason with the unreasonable. You're the one that's hopeless. You can't see the writing on the wall. Obviously, you're idiots. Aw, love you too. That's nice, but it made no sense. Good day. I'm hating you males more every day. I think I'll become a feminist, and I'm not kidding. You males are disgusting. Well, that's one thing we both agree on. The ideology of feminism is hatred towards men, and it's nice to get some corroboration of that statement from a misandrist herself. Logic is a tool used by those who do not know truth. Lol. You're an idiot. You can't even speak coherently. I wasn't aware I was using a microphone. Incidentally, you are an idiot. You can't even write coherently. You being a man, I notice that you'll say anything. That's the way men are. You're pathetic, and I'm glad women have fucked you over, and they'll continue to do so, because as a gender, you're idiots. Wow, so articulate and well-spoken. Actually, I'm not a man. I identify as a female passing asexual otherkin. My preferred pronouns are Z, G, or Z. Check your privilege, P. Nothing you say is true. It isn't? I guess you would be the one to know. I'm stuck using things like logic to get as close as possible to truth. I don't just know it like you do. Moron, I've been doing this for 60 years. You're an ape. You're an ape. Also, you are a mammal. Your cells are eukaryotic. I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Why are we listening to random facts about human biology? Do you suffer from some form of neurodegenerative condition brought on by your advanced age? I think she is. No, I'm totally kidding. Oh, that's cute. You actually think that I care what you think of me, P. To be honest, I still don't, and no other man should care what she thinks of them either. I'm used to the large amounts of misandry on the internet, as well as all the shaming tactics, so I've built up a resistance to this kind of stuff. In fact, I find her comments more disturbing than offensive. The problem with men is, you'll always try to be right. That's you, another swinging dick. When are you going to start thinking bigger? Never. Translation: you just crushed my unfounded claims by backing up your opposition with facts and common sense, and now the whole world can see what a dumbass I am, and I don't like that. All I can do now to save face is try making you look like an awful person for correcting my stupid post in the first place. If you dislike being corrected so much, maybe you should stop posting stupid bigoted comments on the internet. Who am I kidding? You're not going to do that. Go on then, add 10 points in your victim card, you whining bitch. I'm hating you males more every day. I think I'll become a feminist, and I'm not kidding. You males are disgusting. So we're in agreement then. You're a fucking bigot. Glad we could work that out. As for you being a feminist, becoming a feminist, you totally should. You're the perfect brand of batshit insane, projection spewing, fact ignoring, victim card waving, logically impaired, hate-mongering cunt that they'll take in with open arms. I personally suggest you sign up with Jezebel. They're just the right flavor of retard you can identify with. Oh, she's a graybeard. It all makes sense now, particularly the Jesus mumble. You'll go on denying the nature of man forever. I watch your videos and they are redundant. I never hear you say how bigoted men are. It seems you're always the victims. When feminism wouldn't have taken root, if it were for men's desire to appease women. Hey, you know where I stand. I'm immortal. This is your horse race. I'm not even going to translate that. What is this nature that I'm denying? I know this is asking a lot from you, but can you try to base your answer in reality? When feminism wouldn't have taken root, if it weren't for men's desire to appease women. I don't speak for all men, and would have no clue what they desire. Sparky, I have shown you respect in the past, and have answered your questions, and you haven't even sent me back a thank you. Now you accuse me of not basing my comments on reality. What's wrong with accusing someone of something that he or she clearly did? This is exactly the way men behave. Nothing's good enough for you, and you're always right. I'm not going further into this discussion, because with men, you can give them all the proof needed to solve a problem, and it's never good enough for you. You're only serving to prove his point, you know. Have a nice day. Bye, crazy. Again, just kidding. So you are just not going to answer? That's the only reason I block people. You have a nice day. I personally block people who either repeatedly mute their comments or consistently leave spam in the comments section. I don't tolerate spam or the act of preventing people from speaking their minds, whether I agree with them or not. But I digress. Anyway, that's the end of the thread. Some of the people who responded here could have done without insults, but I still found it funny when they used them.